It's dizzy. I'm out in my jungle of a yard. And if you watched my videos, you know that I had a tree that came down partially in a storm right there. Didn't come down all the way. It's too high for me to cut. I needed somebody to come out and take care of that, as well as another dead pine. And guy came out and looked at everything and gave me a price and said they'd get back to me as to when they could schedule it. Finally, I got a call and they said they could come out the next day. Told them I wouldn't be there. They said that was fine. I didn't need to be there, just so long as they could go ahead and get everything in. Well, they didn't show up. Got home and they weren't there. I waited and I waited and I waited. I wanted to take a nap because I was beat. Finally gave him a call and basically just said, well, I'm assuming you're not coming out, and never heard back from him for over a week. And then I get a call. And I felt so bad when I found out why the guy didn't show up. Guys that I had do my tree work, it's a family operated. It's basically just a father and his son. The father had operation. And he was doing fine. As far as I knew, everything was okay. Then the day that the son was supposed to come out and do the trees, his father unexpectedly passed away. So they don't know what happened. They're assuming a blood clot. And it's how it is with all of us. We make plans. We think we've got all the time in the world to do things. And after all, look at my dad. He was 93 when he died. And people live to be over 100. We don't really think too much about dying. And lots of times we're more concerned about with what we can stock up with on earth. Well, God tells us in His Word that it's appointed unto man once to die, and after that the judgment. And you might think, well, I'm a good person. I try to keep the 10 Commandments, and I'm better than most. The thing is, that's the wrong standard. We're not measured by each other. We're measured by God. We're measured by His perfect standard, and none of us can measure up. It would be like for us to try to swim across the Pacific Ocean to Hawaii. Some of us, like myself included, would not get very far. Others would get a lot farther because they're better swimmers. But none of us can swim to Hawaii. It's impossible. It's also impossible for us to keep the law in such a way that we be able to get into heaven. We all break the law. And we also think we have all the time in the world. Well, we never know. People die in car accidents. People die in fires. People die in natural disasters. People die all the time. There's not a day goes by that somebody doesn't die. The question is, when you die, will you be ready? You'll be facing the judge. And He is completely just. If you're thinking that you're going to get into heaven in some other way other than through the blood of Christ, you're wrong. And don't think that you have time. The Bible says that today's the day of salvation. We don't know how much longer we have. He holds our breath. You could live to be 100. You could die today. So think about it. And if you don't know Him, come to Him while you still have time.